Hi, Genki Call here. It is the week of March 27th, 2023. We have Guild Wars this week. I've got your campaign tasks, we're in Sword's Edge, and upcoming events for the week. Let's get into it. So, for campaign, for gold, we have win 15 ranked PvP battles and use a sword weapon for 15 wins. For silver, explore Sword's Edge twice at difficulty 9 plus, win 5 dungeon battles. Win 5 battles in a single arena run, win 3 dungeon battles, complete 2 adventure boards. For bronze, open 2 event chests, open 15 glory chests, earn 4 glory in battle. You have to do that in PvP. Use the knight class for 3 wins, use the sword banner for 3 wins, use the Sword's Edge team for 3 wins. Match 4 plus gems 15 times, kill champion of Anu 1 time, get 7 knight kills, and get 10 brown kills. Alright, so let's head into Guild Wars real quickly here. Now, be sure to set your sentinels. If you don't know what I'm talking about, check out the video linked at the end of this video. It'll pop up in the last 15 seconds. Basically, I'm just going to set my defense teams here, so I'm going to be updating these, but this is for brown. Why are these all the same? What? 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 Why are they all the same team? I'm so confused. That's so weird. Alright, so... Wow, Guild Wars. Then we'll set this one to red. And this one to green. Come on. Yeah. Green and... Why did it do that? It's so weird. I know it does this occasionally. It's just been a while. Purple, and then this one is blue. I'm looking at this color over here in case you don't know what I'm looking at. And this one for yellow. Very important to make sure that this total down here is 24 different troops. Yellow, yellow, yellow. Alright. So, I'm going to be going over this stuff anyway, but yeah, 24 different troops. Perfect. Alright, so we've got Guild Wars. Be sure to get that set up. We've got that starting tomorrow, and the battles. And do Sword's Edge. No, let's go in the shop first. Let's get our resources. Spoils of War, I recommend that you get all of these, all 10, the max, every week if you can. 10 event keys for this is a fantastic deal. The only better deal you're going to get is from a merchant or from the angel. I almost said alien. I'm tired. Our new troop for the week is the Relic Knight. This guy, barriers and allies, gives them mana equal to half of their mana cost, so it would give this guy 6 mana, even if he already had 8, it would still give him 6, because that's half. And if they're a knight, creates 3 spirit gems. Those are the ones that drain mana. Yep, they're blue, right? Undying, that's nice, and a little bit of skull damage reduction. Either way, even if you're not interested, be sure to grab this because you're going to need it for your power levels at some point. And speaking of which, I always get mine up to mythic level so that I will have that when I need it for my power levels. Plus you get all of the nice things. Oh, the pretties. Alright. Anyway, now that we've got that, let's head into Sword's Edge and I will show you what you can get with your event keys this week. While we're thinking about it, it is going to now be possible to get Sword's Edge up to level 18, but look at, I don't want to use up all my Imperials. I don't want to use them, plus my Books of Deeds. I don't know if I'm going to be doing that. Anyway. Right. So, very important. There are some new troops. New troops came into the game with the last update. If I could speak, that would be awesome. Alright, let's put this at level. Should be... anything that's not at mythic level should be new. Perfect. Alright, so The new troops that came into the game, if you do not have them yet, are the Guardian Dragon. This is the new legendary. Damage to all enemies, gain a little bit of armor. Really no big deal there. Skull damage reduction by 30%, gain 8 armor when matching red gems. You know, it gains armor, but it doesn't do anything with it. There's no boost off of it. It is, however, going to be good for quick delves, because of course you're going to get a boost from your horde, and for bum, 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 world events, you know, events that get a boost, it'll be good for that if you can't use something else. It's an option. Then we've got Eleanor. Wait. I'll just go over these in alphabetical order like I usually do. I mean, rarity order like I usually do, because otherwise I'm going to go over things more than once. I do have all the things here. I'm sure I do, but I'll do that anyway. Okay, Champion of Anu. Our mythics here. Silence, stun, and drain all mana from one enemy. Deal damage to everything below them. Wait, deal damage to them and all enemies below. Okay. Alright, the wording here is important. So you're going to do the silence, stun, and drain mana from whichever enemy you hit. Hopefully you're going to hit the top troop, and then all enemies will get damage to them. Right. All enemies, provided that you hit the top troop. I'm having difficulties this morning. I'm so sorry. Bear with me, folks. What I'm trying to say, it will hit the entire team if you hit the top troop. That means that since it is not technically an AoE troop, it will hit submerged enemies. It will hit them if they're submerged, because it's not technically a hit all enemies troop. The wording is important. Skull damage reduction by 60%. That's very nice. And blue allies gain 1 to all stats at the start of each turn. Now, this can be run with Consort of Darkness, for instance, to raise the magic so that Consort can insta-kill, higher chance to insta-kill each turn. I feel like I just need to stop talking, but I have lots to talk about. So, Champion of Guard. Gain tons of armor if there are 13 or more skulls. Get double the armor, and then create a mix of 22 blue and red gems, which would then override all the skulls, but if you want to get them off the board, it's an option, I suppose. Also, skull damage by 60%. Very annoying 50% spell damage reduction, so it's really hard to kill this guy with all of this. I mean, this is really high. And then all red allies gain 1 to all stats at the start of each turn. Also would help with Consort of Darkness, now that I think about it. Then we've got Lady Marana. You will not be able to get her with your event keys. She's from Crypt Keepers. You have to use your Chaos Shards to get her down at the faction. Queen Isabel is actually super useful, especially in an event. Deal damage to the first enemy, equal to an ally's attack. Then give attack and armor to them, and give 3d8 mana to all allies other than herself. So the entire team gets mana when you cast her, except for herself. You cast this on the first troop, you're getting that extra attack, that extra armor, to help them tank up there. Plus, adding attack to something, unless they get a boost off of the attack, is useless unless they're in the first slot, because you can't use skulls unless you're in the first slot. So generally speaking, people cast her on the first slot unless it's about to die. Hello. I was clicking here. Nothing really significant here. She does have a tiny bit of skull damage reduction. And then Shadow Dragon poisons all enemies and does true damage to a random enemy. Then it transforms all yellow gems to purple to boost the effect. So this is something that you can run with Scorpius if you don't have Euryale. It's an option. You do have to cast with it, but it will poison the entire enemy team. You also get bonus purple mana and a little extra attack when you get purple gems, which is, I would never run this at the front. It has no skull damage reduction, but Anyway, Sir Quentin Hadley, this is a really fun troop because I like skull spamming. Purple gems to yellow and green gems to skulls, then do damage to 2 random enemies, making him one of the stronger troops that does the skull conversions, the double convert. Also, 50% mana start for all knights, and a little skull damage reduction. Already went over the Guardian Dragon. Oh, Ulf Harrigan. Yes, this guy. True damage to 3 random enemies, and if an enemy is already wounded, deal an extra 10 damage. Now, I think the extra 10 damage will hit the armor. I am not positive about that, but I'll have to look into that. Then summon Ulf's mascot if there's a spot open on your team. Little skull damage reduction, once again, just a little bit. Won't be able to get this, gotta get this from Crypt Keepers. Eleanor is one of the new troops. Eleanor creates 11 purple gems straight up, no matter what. If she casts, she's gonna create those purple gems. It doesn't matter if she's webbed, is what I'm saying, because there's nothing purple on this card. The purple is what's affected by magic. Again, a little bit of skull damage reduction. Cannot get the Graveseer, you gotta get that from Crypt Keepers. The next new card is the Mysterious Hero. Deal damage to a random enemy. No, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I want to be able to pick what enemy it hits. Meh. And summon a Firestorm at the start of battle. It does have a pretty low mana cost, but I mean, I guess it's a way to get a Firestorm if you don't have another way to do it, but I don't... I want to be able to pick. Queen's Herald. This is our Godslayer, 3 to 5 times damage on spells and skulls if you have her traded. To anything with a red border. That's Zul'Goth, that's Raid Boss, that's any of the new gem dragons, that's Enraged Karandara, etc., including the bosses in the dungeon. Extra damage. And a 50% chance to summon Queen Isabel, who we already went over. As I said, it's Godslayer. Next up is Sir Signia. She gains life and barrier, then does a straight just 8 damage to an enemy. Why? Why? Okay. 40% skull damage reduction, so, I guess she just sits up there and tanks and breaks barriers, maybe? I guess? Sir Ebonheart. This one is our Siege Breaker. This is the one, just like with the Godslayer, the 3 to 5 times damage to towers. So, invasion and also, Leonis Tower as well. And next up, Sir Gawain. Now, he creates blue and brown gems and then summons 1 to 3 Swords Edge troops. That's really good for something that's just an epic. The summons, that's pretty nice, but I generally tend not to use him. He does not feed back into himself at all with the mana, but he does summon, so he is an option if you're worried about losing troops. Tau does damage to an enemy, and if they die, gain 4 to all skills straight up. He is empowered, and Tau... Sorry. Double skull damage versus knights, double skull damage versus dragons, both very nice. The spell is nothing special, but the fact that he's empowered is pretty nice. Let's see. Then we have Valor. Damage to an enemy, and if the enemy is a demon, deal double damage. If the enemy dies, give a random ally 8 life. This is... This kingdom. What's with the random 8 damage or 8 life? It's just so weird to me. Double damage, skull damage versus demons, and a little skull damage reduction, meaning you can actually run him at the front of the team if you so choose. Who was that? Valor. Okay, Court Jester. Court Jester is a really good mana generator for red. Destroy a row and column, create 5 red gems boosted by skulls destroyed. Destroying a row and a column, you can tend to get quite a few skulls with that, so this can just flood the board with red. And then 20% chance to dodge skull damage and immune to entangle as well. So yeah, that immunity to entangle is really nice if they're running at the front of the team. Next up is Dragonheart. Deal damage to an enemy. If the enemy has a dragon, deal 6 damage to all enemies, again with the random low number. It's good for arena, but besides that, I mean, a little... nah. Double skull damage versus dragons and skull damage reduction. Next up is the Haunted Guardian. Explode gems in a 3x3 cross. It's a 3x3 square. Come on. Gain armor and barrier. Little skull damage reduction, and if she's at the front of the team, she'll inflict frozen when she does skull damage. Next up is the Knight Captain. Barrier an ally, give them armor. If the ally's a knight, give double the effect. That could be great if it's a knight at the front of your team. Could be very helpful if you need it. Or if you're running something that gets a boost off of armor, like casting the Set Tight Warrior, for instance, on them. Skull damage reduction by 25% once again. You'd think that they would, they're knights, they're wearing armor, you'd think that they would have more than 25% skull damage reduction. Knight Coronet. This one hits 2 enemies, removes all purple gems, really good to run against Lady Mirana, who gets, or anything that goes heavily on the purple, because he's going to remove all the purple, and does damage to the first enemy boosted by the gems removed as a 2-to-1 ratio. So if you remove 10 purple gems, you'll get a boost of +5. So half of what you remove will be added to that. Then do the same to the last enemy, right? So first and last, and then this one has skull damage reduction by 50%, and he gets some extra skills, which means this magic is going to go up, everything's going to go up if you run him at the front of the team. So Knight Coronet is very useful. Relic Knight, we went over, yeah. Spectral Colossus. Destroy all purple gems. Now this isn't just removing them, this is taking them off the board as if they were matched. Does that feed? No, it doesn't feed into himself, unfortunately. Gain Reflect and Armor boosted by gems destroyed. You know, I actually think it's good that he doesn't feed into himself, because he'd be really annoying to fight if he did. But yeah, you get purple for your team. You tank up there. You don't have much skull damage reduction, but the armor that you're adding to yourself, that's pretty nice. Spectral Knight is from Crypt Keepers. You won't be able to get that. Also, Mascot, this is the Ulfherigen summons. Damage to the last enemy, and if Ulfherigen's on the team, inflict 2 stacks of bleed on the enemy, and that's like 4 damage per turn or something like that. And skull damage reduction. Vanguard destroys a row, creates 6 yellow gems boosted by blue gems destroyed. So for each blue gem you destroy, and that is taking them as if they were matched, as I said before, each blue gem will give you +2 yellow gems. He is halfway empowered. He's got 50% mana start and skull damage reduction by 25%. The Griffin Knight does damage to a random enemy, creates 7 yellow gems. It can loop, but it's doing damage to a random enemy, and I don't really like that very much. I want to be able to target the one I'm trying to kill. Little skull damage reduction once again. The Knight Errant creates 9 yellow gems straight up, boosted by yellow defeated enemies. You'll get an additional 4 yellow gems for each defeated enemy. Skull damage reduction. It's a bounty hunter. I wouldn't use it for bounty. Anyway, Man-at-Arms. This is another bounty hunter. 23 attack and armor to an ally. I'm sorry, give attack and armor to an ally and then barrier them. Nightshade, you can't get this, sorry, that's from Crypt Keepers. Then we've got the Warhound. Eliminates attack from the first enemy, then explodes 2 gems. Child is being loud. Wolf Knight does true damage to an enemy, and if the enemy is wounded, again with that little bit of extra damage. Again, I'm not sure whether this is going to hit the armor or true damage. I think it hits the armor. Ah, and a 50% chance to do true damage with skulls. That's pretty nice, but he has no skull damage reduction. The Game Warden converts all green gems to skulls. The Innkeeper gives attack to all other allies, but eliminates one magic from your team. You do have the yellow link, but I mean, if you're running with a skull spamming team, I suppose that would be okay, but I don't want you taking away my magic, buddy. Lance Knight destroys a row, gains armor boosted by green gems destroyed. It's only +2 for each green gem destroyed, but I mean, at least there's a boost and you get a little extra mana gen, I suppose. And you do have the water link bonus blue mana. The Militiaman, this is the last new troop, the common, and he does a range of damage to an enemy. I mean, it's better than the one from Silverglade that they just introduced. It's still much better. It's like 3 to something damage on that troop. It's just terrible. That's a different troop, though. Little skull damage reduction, and then, of course, the Peasant that destroys a gem and the gems on either side of it. So you can get +3 mana for your team with this guy. Having the enemy gem masteries is pretty nice though, because that makes it so that they're much less likely to get a mana surge. And he's also greedy. He's such a greedy guy. Alright, let's stop down for just a second. I'm gonna open 50 chests, see if I can get something here. Look at that! And I got the Guardian Dragon. Nice! Got Eleanor and the Mysterious Hero. Fantastic. I might open some more later. I might save them. I don't remember where we're going next, but you know, I kind of like to save my event keys, which is why I have so many. So, events for the week. First of all, let's head in here, and of course, we've got Guild Wars this week. Already went over that, and right. Undead and knights get +10% to their skills. If it's an undead knight, they get +20%, of course. And if you take the new troop into PvP, you'll get 5 glory, an extra 5 glory. So for the task, you could just take this guy into PvP, and it could be casual PvP and get your glory for that task. Right, so lastly, what we've got coming up this week. Tomorrow we have the faction assault at Crypt Keepers. Yes. I managed to get that pure faction done 2 days ago. It's awesome. Pet rescue. Let me look up the pet rescue. Hold on. Alright, the pet rescue is going to be the toy soldier. And then on Thursday we have the knight class trial. And this weekend we have Invasion for Groshnak. So let me Groshnak is over here. Let me just pull up our Siegebreaker. That is Vorkarn. Might want to level this up so you can get that maximum amount of damage to the towers this weekend. And yeah, I think that's everything. I hope I didn't forget anything. This has been a really long video. Apologize for that. I hope that you enjoyed it despite its length. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye!